Had some brilliant discussions with accountants yesterday around this concept of fingers crossed pricing, or a fingers crossed approach to producing proposals for your prospects or for existing clients as well. And so what normally happens in an accountancy firm is that you meet a client or you meet a prospect, you will sit down with them and chat through your services and how you can help them. You might give them an idea of price or some indicative costs, but then typically what happens is you send a proposal through later on, maybe later that day or maybe later that week or something like that. And then you expect or hope that that client's then going to agree to that proposal and sign for it. Now, you're going to be putting extra things in there. By the time you've sat down with it, by the time you've sat down and figured out everything that needs to go in there, there'll always be other little things that have crept in that maybe the client wasn't aware of or that you needed to have a chat about or whatever. And so what happens is you send this proposal off with your fingers crossed, hoping that that price is going to fit what they're looking for, hoping that you know when to follow up with them and the exact right time that they will be able to make a decision about that and you know whether they're going to sign or not. And there's just so much guesswork. We've just kept so much out of the process there, and you've just got your fingers crossed, hoping this is going to happen, hoping this is going to work. And if you have that approach, you're not being fair to your clients, you're not being fair to yourself, you're not being fair to your staff, because all we've done at that point is we've completely let go of control of the situation. And the reason why it's really damaging and really dangerous for your firms, seriously, is because if you do then ever sign that client through luck, that's what that will be. If you were lucky enough to sign that client, the way you've started that relationship with them is off on the footing of letting go of control. So now when you're trying to regain control of that relationship to get them to sign, to get them to reconcile their accounts on time or to have that meeting or whatever, you've got very little chance because you've not set the rules of the game from day one, which is if you're working with us, we are in control. You will do things our way and this is how it's going to work because we've got your best interests at heart, but we know what we're talking about. You don't. So we're going to kick your backside when you need to and you're going to do as you're told. That's kind of what you need to do with your clients, right? So, but that all starts with this initial engagement, with this first interaction, with this first date. That is essentially what this is. It's the first date. And if you don't get that date right, you're messing up the entire relationship moving forward. So I'm going to explain to you the exact story that happened with me when I signed, one of the first times I met my accountancy place, who are now my accountant and where I'm now a director of and loads of other stuff as well. But my first interaction with them was, I'd gone from Doncaster to Manchester to go and see them because I'd heard all about them. I wanted them to become my accountant. And so I'd gone to see them and I got on the train, got there, went and met Paul, and he sat through and showed me how he could benefit me and talk to me about the pricing and everything else as well. And it was amazing. I was like, I'm so excited about this, right? But obviously it was a lot more than I was paying previously. So I left, he said he'd send me a proposal. I walked back to the train station. I kept checking my phone thinking, has he sent anything through or have I got anything yet? I didn't get anything. I got back on the train and I went to Doncaster, which is an hour and a half train journey. Kept checking my phone, not got anything. Got back, spoke to my wife and she said, how did it go? I said, oh, brilliant, got really excited about it all. And then she asked the question, how much are you going to cost? Well, it's going to cost about £550 a month. £550 a month? What are you talking about? You're only paying this much now. Are you sure that's right? What are you getting for that? Will you get value for that? You should speak to your brother. Now, my brother is a business owner as well, so I've gone to see my brother. I had a chat with him. He's like, sounds a lot to me. We're not paying that and we turn over millions. So I sat and had a chat with him, and all of a sudden now, doubt has set in my mind. So Paul's now eventually, a couple of days later, maybe 3 days later, sent me a proposal through. But now I'm unsold. All of the hard work that he did in selling me into this service is now gone because I've essentially spoke to the guy in the pub. You know, that mentality, that thing that happens. So now the conversation I'm having with Paul is not me having a conversation with Paul. It's my wife and my brother having a conversation with Paul through me. And so he's having to resell the whole thing. At this point, we started to strip things out of the proposal because I wasn't happy about certain things now because I've got other concerns in my mind. But you know what? I'm a busy guy, as every business owner out there is. Every business owner on this planet is busy. My to-do list is about 1 million things. And I've got more to-do lists in more places. I have a to-do list on my desk, a to-do list in my bag, a to-do list on my phone. Before I go to bed, I'll write a to-do list out. I am just stacked with stuff to do. So if you want an hour of my time, that is precious, precious time that I could be using and reinvesting in something far more valuable, in my opinion, than going and meeting anybody. That's what I'm thinking. I'm always thinking, what's the best use of my time? So if I'm coming to meet you as a firm of accountants for an hour, get me signed up. I'm not coming to sit and have a chat with you for you to then send me something through a few days later, hoping that it's all going to tie up and work. If I'm coming to you, I'm coming to nail the deal. I'm coming because I've heard about you, because I've researched you, because I believe that you're the right firm of accountants for me. So when I'm turning up, get me to sign there and then. That's actually what I wanted to do. Because had that have happened, I wouldn't have been having the conversation with other people about whether it was right or not, because it would be just something that I'd done. And so that's a really important distinction that you have to make. And so let me tell you the far better way of doing this. The way that you absolutely have to do this, and which we have now changed My Accountancy Place's approach through Go Proposal, which is the system that we've put in place into My Accountancy Place, is that when you sat with a client, you've got to be able to, number one, agree the fees whilst you're with them. What are all the costs, and all the fee, all the services, all the costs and everything associated with them, and all the little variances in there as well. So if you want to reconcile your accounts, brilliant. How many transactions? Do you want them reconciling daily, monthly, weekly? How often do you want them reconciling? I'll do your annual accounts for you, but what's the quality of your record keeping? Is it excellent, good, average, poor, terrible? This is how we measure the quality of your record keeping. Whereabouts do you fit? Right, okay, there, brilliant. So there's no room for error. So we sat him down, you sit down and agree the fees there and then at the end of that discussion, you can say, how does that look? Is that right? Is that something you'd like to make a decision on? Does that seem right for you for what you're getting? And we can have a very mature conversation at this point. I hope, it's going back to dating, it's like thinking, I hope they go out with me. I'll ask my mate to ask them out for me. I hope it all works out. I hope it goes well. No. Let's get the deal done there and then. So does this look right for you? Is this something you want to make a decision about? Is it something you want to act on now? How long do you want to take to make a decision about it? And if it's not what you're happy with, let's change it, let's tweak it, let's take something out. Or, well, you know what, if you can improve the quality of your bookkeeping, then we can lower that price there. Or let's take monthly management accounts out, but I'm going to put it down on your roadmap as something that you should be considering in the future. Let's get this agreed right now. Let's have that conversation. What are your objections? Why wouldn't you want to go ahead with it? Let's talk about those now. Don't go away here with objections or concerns or worries. Get them out now. Let's have a chat about them. Let's have a mature conversation. So there's no reason why you couldn't go ahead with this right now. That's the point you want to get a client to. Now, I'm not saying you should get them to sign up there and then. I'm just saying you give them the option to sign up there and then. But what I would also do in that meeting is say, how long will it be? How long will it take for you to make a decision about this? I don't want to pressure you. I don't want to rush you into this. But I also don't want to be that guy that's chasing you, never knowing when to quite ring you. So how long will it be before you've spoken to all the people you need to speak to make a decision about moving forward? And if they said a week, I'd be like, is that realistic? I don't want to be pestering you, but I'm going to ring you when you tell me to ring you. So, okay, well, give us 2 weeks then. Fantastic. Let's get a date agreed in the diary right now for me to follow you up. I'm going to send you a text. I'm going to send you a couple of reminders. I'm going to send you a text reminder on the morning, which can all be automated, by the way, so that you know when we're going to be doing that follow-up. So now we've sent them through. We know that it's going to hit the spot when we send it. We've agreed it there and then. We've sent it through. I do encourage people to use Go Proposal because I designed it and developed it and it's amazing, right? But if you don't want to, that's fine. But whatever system you do have, you have to have the ability to be able to agree the fees whilst you're with the client, generate them a proposal like that, and the letter of engagement so that they can sign it whilst you're with them. And that whole process can't take any more than like 2 minutes tops. Otherwise, you're really eating into valuable time during that meeting. So that's why we developed it, right? But whatever system you use, you need to be able to recreate that same process so they can sign there and then. But if not, that you're giving them everything they need to take with them to make that decision and to dive in. And then if they're not ready to dive in, you've agreed the follow-up date when you're going to be ringing them up. It just removes all this fingers crossedness of the situation. It puts you in firm control. And this is the thing. All you can do as a firm of accountants, yes, you can do P&L and balance sheets and all that type of stuff. But ultimately, what you're trying to do is to change the way that people feel. That's it. That's all we've got. We can just change the way that people feel. And when that person leaves, they will feel confident. They will feel that they have made the right decision by coming to meet you. They will feel that they have found the right person that they're going to work with and partner in providing the full finance function for their business moving forward forevermore. Because the way you make somebody feel is absolutely everything. And the way that you make them, people will remember the way you made them feel long after they've forgotten what you've done for them. That is so, so valuable, so important. And if you can get that right in that initial meeting, when they walk away, so they leave able to make a decision or having made a decision and feeling very confident in you and everything's not up in the air, then that relationship is built on far firmer foundations, so that ultimately when you do sign them, and you'll sign far, far more with this approach and far more of the right people as well, that relationship will be far stronger, far more successful. You'll be able to deliver them far more value, and it'll be far more profitable for your firm.